Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have episode 5 of our Hyperborea adventure, Doom of the Crab King. I'm Pete, I'm the referee. In a minute we'll go round and everyone will tell you who they are and who they're playing. And everyone leveled up because you found some tasty loots. So what we need to do is also talk about what's happened to your character with your level, if anything. It may just be hit points. This is old school. A lot easier to level up though, which is the plus side, right? But before we do all of that good fun stuff, please don't forget to go check out all our social media. Links are below. There's a link to our Discord as well, where there's over 700 people chatting about role-playing games, and all kinds of media and fun things that we all enjoy, and there is the never-ending gift war, so please head over to Gartopia as well. Right, let's go round and remember who these people are. Aldoon, how are you doing?
Hello, Pete. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. It remains to be seen whether my character will continue to do very well in the onslewingness. Yes, this evening I will be playing Jean Greystoke, a Carolingian Frank purloiner. Somehow Charlemagne's armies found themselves on this science fiction fantasy hexagonal space thing upon which Gar Hypertopia is based. Yes, and John has, as previously mentioned, recently gone up to level 2. Woo! He's got a whole fat 10 hit points, I believe.
Oh,
Combat's still terrifying. Has also gained 2 new spells through the beneficence of the Raven God, and gone for the old classics of protection from evil, and also bless.
oh, bless.
Aw.
Nice. So powered up a little bit. That's good. That will come in handy.
I like the way protection from evil also helps for henchfolk and hangers-on. So kind of going with a bit of a party vibe.
Okay, cool. Let's go round to Dennis. How are you doing, Dennis?
I'm all right, Pete. Thank you. I'm not too bad at all. I'm still playing Lawful Good, the paladin, who currently is. I'm role-playing a role-playing paladin who's role-playing Lawful No Good in the surface of Globus. We're protecting this ruby, I do believe. Totally not wanting to ambush him later on. But thanks to the recent experiences, he's also gone up to level 2. Paladins don't get much. They got a bunch of hit points. They get a fighting ability. And that's it. No.
Don't laugh at that fighting ability. That's very handy. You're now
I suppose I can hit better.
I think everyone else is 0, right?
I can hit better, but yeah, all the 5e goodness that you get nowadays with spells and all that kind of stuff, I don't get any of that until level 7.
Wow. Blimey. Are we going to get hit level 7 in this campaign, do you reckon? We'll see.
I might die right here.
Well, we'll see. Okay, cool. Excellent. So some more hit points and some more hitting ability. So
yes.
Well, you guys need a bit of that at the moment, so that's probably a really good thing. Okay, last but not least, Dan, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Pete. I've managed to be caught off guard, even though I knew I was going to be the last person. Hi, everyone. I'm still playing Alika of the House of Sam, an Atlantean shaman. Unlike Lafar Good, I get a lot of things changed at level 2. Ooh. I get magician spells now. Which I was just telling everybody I get 3 casts. I get 4 casts. So I'm a crazy wizard now, so I've got more powers. I also got way more hit points now. I've rolled a maximum for hit points, so I'm a shaman with 16 hit points.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's impressive.
Crazy.
You got a high con bonus.
I have indeed. In fact, it is
your major stat.
It's my major stat. Despite being a wizard, I've gone for. Well, I just assumed as a wizard I would have really bad hit points and thus die as soon as I got tickled by a feather. So I kind of put a high stat there because like the rest of the stats are all like sort of good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right. And I also get to use my medicine man skill at an extra time now as well because I'm level
Okay.
2.
That's
So
nifty.
even more healing. So
What's your
I'm the
fighting
healer.
ability?
Fighting ability is still 0.
Okay.
But soon, level 3, I will get a fighting
Ooh,
ability 1.
Let's see if you get there.
I'm going to die before then, but it's okay.
Cool. Okay, excellent. Well, good that you guys all leveled up. Because tonight is the ambush. You have head out in 2 teams, Alika and Dodecimus, and Ricky, who's now returned to the town. Ricky headed out into the mountains to find Berith, the heroic leader, the sackmaster, with his face covered in boils, dripping as he gives Henry V style speeches with his foot on a rock. There always seems to be a rock nearby whenever he needs us to do a speech. He's
I
in
think
the
someone
mountains.
carries one round.
No, he's
I
in
think,
the
no, I think
mountains.
there's just someone carrying a rock around. It's going to speak.
It's papier-mâché rock. And meanwhile, Jean and Laffel have gone undercover in Clobos's little force, where you had you 2 and 2 others who were Churn and Javis.
Yes.
Yep. Who you'd started to sort of have a bit of a repartee with, and they were like, oh, okay, well, this is all bad. What's going on? You know, and you'd kind of, someone had mentioned the Grey Lady, you know. So, but there were a load of brute squad with you who were, it was about 10 guys, wasn't it? And you had organised them all, and you were sort of split them. I think you got, was it Javis? No,
Yeah.
no, Churn. Wasn't Churn the tactical guy? I think. Can't remember which way round it was now.
We made them sergeants and put them on either side of the...
Yes, you did. Yeah. So there's a bunch of brute squad. There's these 2, and there's the 2 of you, and you had various wagons and carts, and one of them was built with this kind of, if you remember, it had like a receptacle for holding the uncut ruby, cushioning it and taking it back. And you had headed out and arrived at the mine. You'd seen the kind of, there's a bit of open mining going on where people digging on the surface, and then there was a mine shaft going down at a shallow angle into the ground, and there are a series of kind of low structures around wooden huts and buildings. And we will go to Jean and Laffel first. Okay. So
Hello.
you are rolling along, and if you remember, Klobos was with you, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Because he was a bit annoyed with his henchman who'd attacked the tavern and failed. So he's like, I want to see this done properly, so I'm going to go myself. And you tried to dissuade him, sort of, oh, it's beneath you. But he was like, no, this is the will of Kalkos, so I want to go.
Yeah.
Even though he hadn't finished his painting yet.
Mm.
So you have arrived at this area, and Klobos sort of orders a halt. Right. You 4, he says, looking at you, Jean.
Hello.
Bring forward the... He points at the special carriage. We shall bring this over to this building. The rest go over there to load up with other... There's some other sundries, goods, ore that needs to be loaded up. The usual stuff. I don't bother myself with it. And a few people who work the mine come out, and you can see there are guards, and there are people who look like they are on the edge of fatigue, like chipping away at things in the distance in kind of groups, being watched by either people who look a bit like the brute squad, or occasionally see the odd red claw first echelon cultist out amongst the area. It says we're in the mountains now, right? So it's very rocky, very hilly where you've just come from. You've come up this long path, road, as it were, and they're kind of all around you. Some up on a slope there, some over there. The mine shaft goes into the mountain, and the structures are just to the side. And he said, we're heading over to this structure here. It sort of points to the left of the main mine shaft.
Yes, Globo. So you wish your elite guard to come with you with the cushioned carriage and these other to take the sundries and collect whatever.
Correct.
I will issue the instructions.
Okay. He just walks over to that building.
I want to talk to I forgot the names again. Jarvis and Clem. It's not that.
Churn and Javis.
They were so close. Hello, my friends. It is time for us to collect the giant ruby. The thug squad are to take the other carriages over to the mine and collect the sundries. Please encourage them to also, I don't know, make free with any alcohol or illicit narcotics that there might be over there. As a reward for their hard work in walking this far. Yes?
Okay. Yes, we'll share the message, and they kind of split off and talk to the guys. Oh, you guys go over there, head over there, do that. Stop in the mess if you need to. I think there's some ale in there. Have a drink. We're gonna have a long walk back, right? So, and they kind of shuffle off with various carts and pieces, and the four of you and the wagon are kind of left to yourselves.
Forward, cushioned wagon.
Okay, it's pulled forward. There's a donkey or a mule, probably a mule, pulling this little wagon. It's not big, it's just got to fit a kind of ruby thing in it. So it's like this little wagon box thing. It looks more like a cart that's kind of being fitted up with this piece.
Basically, it's a box with wheels.
Yes. But these mules are very sure-footed, and it looks like they kind of, as they've been coming up here, they seem to know the way. Like these animals have done this trip many times. And Churn goes over and leads the animal up to the building. And inside, you can hear Klobos talking to, sort of shouting at people, "Step away from it! Step away! Step away!" And as you kind of get to the doorway, it's open and you can see in. And on this large table, sort of on a load of kind of sackcloth, kind of laid out, this large, it looks quite dirty from where you are, and it's an uncut ruby, right? So it's got like rocky bits on the outside, as you might imagine. It's kind of been pulled out of the ground. But there is definitely the red, glassy red of this ruby. You can see coming through in patches. And the light from the lantern inside the hut catches off of it, and it dances across Klobos's face, kind of red sheen, and his eyes twinkle in the red light.
No, he has the ruby fever.
And the people in the room look like they weren't expecting him, right? And they're a bit sort of freaked out by this guy. So they're kind of standing at the back of the room, and one guy comes out and sort of says to you, "Hi, you're here with him? You're collecting the
the
thing?"
Yes.
Okay. And he says he goes out. He sort of turns around to go and right. Let's. And Clover says, "No, stop! Everybody leave. I must have a few moments alone with the Eye of the Crab King."
It's never good. But okay, everyone out! Everyone, no one wants
these four people. There's like four guys. They shuffle out of this room, and like one of them awkwardly shuts the door, and the first guy who came out says to you, "What? Like these? Oh." And he's kind of suddenly realizes he's talking to the crab guy's guards, and he's like,
"La, we know."
Okay, like what? I mean, this is the most amazing, like ruby or precious stone we've ever found. We never thought we'd see anything this size. As one, it seemed from what we can tell, it's one whole structure, and should be able to be cut into one large complete ruby, which is astounding. No, the guys, yeah, we were saying as well. Oh yeah, no, I said as well. I've never seen anything. Yeah, I saw a really big sapphire once. That was only as big as your fist, Bill. Shut up. Okay. Yeah. Right. Look, can you handle this? Can we go, please?
Well, I don't know what Globus will be requiring, but he has the ruby fever, so I don't think he's really going to notice.
I mean, we can help lift it into the thing if you want.
If you are willing to stay, that would be appreciated, but do not feel that you have to. Maybe you wish to find a safe place within the mine and to encourage many of the miners to also be in a safe place, because the situation around here might become quite volatile shortly. Wink.
Okay. As you're standing there, he looks down at your brooch. And he's like, oh. And you look down and before you hadn't noticed there's a little brooch, kind of little crustacean symbol, right, with kind of ornamentation on it. There's actually a very small red stone in it, and it is now glowing. Very tiny. It's like a small, like a little tiny one. And so you hadn't really seen it before because it wasn't glowing before, and now it is glowing. And you look at yours,
Yeah.
Jean, and you're like, oh, and Lafal looks down and
Check Lafal.
his starts to glow. Ding.
That's new.
And then Churn and Javis are like standing. They're just waiting for you guys, but they don't notice their own ones just sort of light up.
Is this Globus is doing? Is he like, I don't know, channeling the big ruby to make our small rubies?
You can even see from afar, right? There's a couple of the brute squad haven't quite gone all the way over, and they're just kind of watching the road, and they're kind of standing there chatting, and one of them's just like tossing rocks into a puddle, and there's a little light that glows on he's got one as well. All the brute squad members that you had have got these brooches on them.
They glow red when orcs are nearby. No, a different franchise.
And then the door opens, and Clovis is standing there.
Master Globus.
What a great day this is. You are blessed by the Crab King to witness this moment as we take the Crab King's eye back to this pitiful town of Huskrin and elevate it, raise it, make it a great city in the Crab King's empire. This is the first moment. And he steps out and he goes, fetch the ruby. And the guys go in, and the Hessian sack kind of material underneath it is cinched up into and they kind of lift it up. It's really heavy, and they're trying to do it so they don't drop it.
No.
And they kind of shuffle out and go over to the wagon, and Churn and Javis kind of there's like bolts, and they open up a flap and then pull down a side flap, and you can kind of put it in and then open it back up and close it down. It looks like Vandro's work.
Mm.
And inside there's like almost like a bracing structure, but with lots of, again, sort of material and stuff to like pad.
It's very well done. Thank you for your help. And now please get back to your mining, you lazy miners.
Sorry. We'll keep going.
Yes.
There might be another eye.
I mean, 2 eyes. Go find the other one.
Yes.
Go.
Okay. So they take the opportunity to be away from Klobos, and he seems to be in some sort of strange, almost stupefied slightly, like he's this is amazing, this is fantastic, and he just like walks over and stands beside it and just puts his clawed hand resting against the Churn and Jarvis kind of look at you like,
It's just la la.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
I'm so tempted just to kill him now, but we should wait for the ambush, really.
Yeah.
he kind of dips his head slightly. He says, "Very well. We should return."
Agreed.
But not lunch? We're not stopping for lunch?
He looks across at the brute squad who are all hanging out at the mess hall, and he's like, "Very well. I suppose some small repose for these land dwellers. This has sustained me, though."
Yeah, yes. You seem touched by the eye of the great crab king.
How could I not be?
Well, indeed, yes.
The
It'd be
magnificence.
impressive, I think.
Very well. He points at Churn and says, "You lead the mule back to the road, and the rest of you fetch some food. I will stay with the eye." And he kind of leads it down to the road again, where you came into the kind of mining encampment, and they head off down there. Do you guys head over to the kind of mess where people are eating?
Yeah. I'd like to have a word with some of the brute squad.
Okay.
We'll have some.
They're all kind of hanging around and kind of, feet up. There's like lots of wooden benches and tables. Very simple, right? No expense spared. Where lots of people can just sit down and eat lots of food and then go. And it's a bit messy. The tables are stained. The floor, the wooden floor of this mess hall is stained. Although it's cleaned, the food has kind of seeped into the floorboards. And they're doing a lunchtime service, as it were, but it's kind of bowls of hot stew and kind of hard rolls, buns, barns, baps, whatever you call them, and that's pretty much it. But they're all kind of getting stuck in, and then there's some flagons of ale going around, and they're all got little simple cups, and they're just all drinking the ale. No hardcore drinking going on, but they are drinking ale. Mm-hmm. And some of them are like, "Oh, this is a good pit stop on the way back. Not a bad job, eh, boys? We're getting paid quite well for this. Once we get the old Crabby Boy's eye back, we're all got some gold coming to us, haven't we?" And they're all like, "Yeah, we," kind of drinking.
Yeah, drink your fill, lads. Empty your tankards, get seconds.
Don't mind if I do.
Don't exactly. And when you get some gold, you've got to put it down on some games with the gladiators. And
I hope they set up that pit. Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, they've been talking about it. But yeah, get a gladiator pit going. Yeah, boys, right? Yeah. And they're like, yeah. It's like Tharn over there says he's going to go and take part. And
you're going to take part?
Yeah. And he's like, shut up. And they're all kind of winding each other up. I think it'd be great. We'll get as big as Tanner in then, right?
More people absolutely.
Get a bigger town.
Get the games going, absolutely. But no offense, lad, but you don't really look like you could stand up to these gladiators, right? They're massive hulking dudes.
Well, yeah. Did you? One of them's like, "Did you see that guy walking around town? That huge guy?"
Yeah, I would not want to meet him. Like, if you see him in battle, you just run, right? You just.
One of them kind of going to the side to fetch more a bowl of bread rolls. Brings it over and kind of claps you on the back, and he says, "You're not small, are you? I mean, you could probably last a few rounds or skirmishes in there."
maybe a little while, but I'd be looking for a way out more than anything. Is
Well, yeah, I
like
suppose.
there's no harm in it. If you just live to fight another day, just something like that just comes charging at you. You you well you turn around, you run.
I don't think they've got a lot of choice some of the time. Although some of them do go in for it, to test their strength. Like that guy. I mean, he can go around and join in any fighting pit he wants, really, can't he?
You can, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, drink up, lads. Well, money to spend soon.
One of them like looks over, and goes, "Oh, has he got it there already? Is he? Is he? Are we going?"
No, it's all right. I'm going to take him a meze platter and hopefully stay longer for lunch because a civilized lunch. It's a very important thing.
Okay. He looks at you like he didn't understand what you were talking about, but you said longer lunch, so he's quite happy. He's like, "I'll have some more stew then." And the kind of guy comes around with a big pot and like slops some more stew in everyone's bowls. So you spend a little time doing lunch, and we'll go over to Dan, who is with the crack team
Rebellion.
commando rebels of
The
Bereth,
rebel scum.
Sackmaster Bereth, and Dodecimus, and you've made your way down through the pass. If you remember, there were two passes.
Yep.
And you kind of took the one that would get you to a nice ambush point as they were coming out of the sort of bit further down from the mine, not the one that they used to kind of try and rescue people from the mine. So you've headed down that pass to be in a nice position where you can probably hear them more than see them because you want to stay out of sight.
Yep.
But you'll be able to hear a procession of 10, 20 people in wagons coming down this mountain pass. And on your way down, you have seen a few harpies flying in the distance, sort of swooping around. And Bereth says to you, they're watching what we're doing. They're always. A little bit of pus comes out of one of his boils. They're always watching what we're doing. They know these forces of evil are trying to stop my men, the force of good here, to help these folk. I'm glad you have come, Alika. You've stirred us into action. And he kind of goes to stand up, and then he squats back down. He's like, "Okay, sorry. Yep. No, you said you're right."
Just in case they come down the hill right now and
absolutely.
just not for anything. No. I mean, as long as we stick to like the dense tree cover, maybe the harpies won't be so keen to swoop down if they can't easily swoop back out again.
Yes, and any kind of overhangs and tight areas with rocks, they can't really kind of get to us. So you're absolutely right. Yes, I'm looking forward to the moment of victory when we stand over Klobos and we return to the town and free all of our people. And and like Dodecimus puts his hand on his shoulder and he's like, calm down. He's like,
You'll know the signal to attack. I will give the signal to attack. Do not go before such a time, okay?
Very well. And he's got, a group of kind of scouts, soldiers, a couple of peasants who've gone with him. A bunch of people died fighting the harpies, so he hasn't got a huge group of people anymore. But they're all up for it, and they're all very keen. And half of them seem to have sort of ranged weapons, short bows and slings. The slings mainly because there's plenty of ammunition around where you are in the mountains, and the others are all kind of short sword, get in close and stabby.
We should just have like a couple of ranged weapons on site just in case those harpies change direction, okay?
Yes.
Just have a couple yeah.
They're kind of trying to. He's got kind of weird military signals that he gives them, and they're like, "Oh, right, okay, yeah," and they go off, and they're like, keeping an eye out.
Just because we don't want to get attacked from behind while we're trying to attack in the front.
That would be
Alika
disastrous.
trying to give some semblance
Surely
that she
the
knows
gods
what
would
she's
not
doing.
do that to us on such a great day.
Well, one would hope not.
Very well. Okay, well, let's hunker down here and wait. It's just after lunch, so they should have got there a little while ago if they're headed out at first light.
If I know my companions, they would definitely stop for something to eat first.
Very well. Well, we shall have... you can see some of the people are getting out their rations and stuff, and it's like horrible kind of jerky and, other cured things that last a long time, or very thick-skinned cheese, that kind of stuff, and they're kind of eating on the move. So you get into nice positions, and Dodecimus says, you know your companions' capabilities better than I. Do you think it wise that we split our force, some on the other side of this pass and some this side, or should we just attack from one side?
If I know my companions, they've already sowed deceit in the ranks. Hopefully not too loudly, because the plan is the plan, and we don't want too many people knowing about the plan. I think we hit them with overwhelming force. Also, I have an ace up my sleeve, as they say. So I'm gonna put everyone to sleep. Not my people, obviously.
Very well. Very well.
It should swing the odds in our favour. But overwhelming force,
Excellent.
I think if we hit them with overwhelming force for one side.
Okay. Well, we're ready then.
As ready as we can be.
Excellent. And we'll go back to Aldoon and Dennis. So your food, you're chatting to the brute squad. A couple of them are slightly inebriated. Not enough that they, are sort of raw, but you get, that initial kind of little glaze in the eye that you see in someone who's had maybe just one drink too many, so maybe their aim might be off, or they're, but they're not tripping over their own feet.
We don't want it to be too obvious, so we don't want to make a farce of this.
Absolutely. So you gather everyone up.
Yes. Assemble the troops. Chern and Javis, please deploy your wings. We need to reform around the main garage. Also bring the others with whatever the rocks and the grit, whatever is in them.
Yeah, the miners, one of the foremen has loaded up a cart with a load of ore, and there's some documents, logs that we're taking back to the town for approval from the some of the administrators at the temple. We do this every time, and actually a couple of other people are coming back with us, and then they'll come back with those pieces back to the mine. So like 4 more brute squad and first echelon cultists kind of join you, and they're like, yes, this first echelon priest is very excited that he's in the presence of Klobos and helping now to take back the Crab King's Eye to the town. So he's kind of bustling about and keep an eye out, and you do this, and he's kind of suddenly a bit too big for his britches kind of thing, and he starts sort of not bossing them around, but annoying Chern and Javis a bit.
He will be second to die.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys all start heading out, and your mules pulling all the carts are doing a good job again. They are sturdy, trustworthy beasts of burden. There's the odd horse, a few of you kind of on horses. They're kind of carrying you down the mountains. And after a while, probably half an hour out of the camp, the road goes through an area ahead that looks like there's a rocky outcropping that kind of on either side that kind of pinches in, and both of you, Laffel and John, think that this looks like a potential ambush location. If you were going to attack anyone, you saw it on the way up from the other direction, and it didn't look so bad, right? Because you were coming up the mountain. But on the way down, it's like a little, and you're like, oh, actually, from this angle, if we try and get through there, it's a bit of a bottleneck, so we might be in trouble. Dan.
Yes.
You and the party, you, Berith, Decimus, and your, I'd say about, what's he probably got about 18 guys left. Remember, he had like 40, and then they went into the mountains, and then the harpies kind of picked them all off. So he's probably got about 18 rebels. Yeah, 18 rebels. We've got 14 brute squad. Yeah. So you and your guys, you've got a couple looking up, you've got looking out, and then as you're all waiting with this kind of bated breath, the odd weird screech from harpies in the distance, you all hear the sound of a large group of people and vehicles heading down this mountain pass towards you, and you sneak a peek, and you can see that there is Klobos, who's walking alongside a central small cart with a wooden structure built on top, his claw touching the wagon. He's stayed beside it for the last half hour. There are 10, 14 brute squad sort of dotted around, split round the outside like this, and then there are 4 people. I think you guys are on horses, aren't you? I thought you said we had the horses.
Yeah, we
and there are, you can see Jean, and you can see Laffel, and you can see 2 other people who you don't know, who seem to be in a similar status in the caravan as Jean and Laffel. And then you can see a first echelon cultist, and there's a few other carts and wagons, right? So it's kind of this kind of oval shape, kind of moving down the pass. And when you lean back down and look at Berith, he's really excited. He's like, yeah, ready. Oh, it's like everyone with bows ready, slingers, right? Decimus has gone to one side, and he's like, there's a rock resting on top of a large outcropping, and he's like, you can see he's not pushing it off, but he's judging the weight of it, and he's like, you give the signal. He points, you give the signal.
Okay.
And then they can fire. It will distract them.
As we're approaching the bottleneck, we can back to the little approaching party. Jean would like to be positioned next to the donkey and somehow get Lefel as close to Crabby as possible.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, be loudly talking about, I'm looking forward to all of the bottles we will be drinking when we get back to the tavern. I particularly like the necks of the bottles. Num, 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 num.
Klobos is not really paying much attention right now. He's still in this, like, slightly stupefied, or he's just like feeling like he's in the presence of a piece of his god, right? So he's just like focused, thinking more about that, probably praying in his head. You think, you've seen this kind of state that cultists and very religious people of gods with magical powers often sort of fall into.
What am I saying? So I understand that
exactly.
Hopefully Churn and Javis are going to pick up on the general vibe.
They are looking at you like, and Churn's like, he kind of looks at you, looks at the rocks, looks at you, looks at the pass, and elbows Javis, and he's like, and they're like, Yes. I
It's good that
love
we will be
bottles.
Yes, in the love of this.
I assume Alika can hear all of this from off on the ridge.
So they're kind of signaling, do you want us closer or further away?
Maybe the other representative of the crab god needs some company, maybe.
Oh, yes. Okay. And Churn and Javis kind of go over towards the first. I mean, to be fair, the first echelon priest is quite near them anyway, giving them orders. He's on a horse, and he's kind of been sort of commenting on, they're not, keep up, you over there. He's like, hey, why don't you tell them to do this, kind of thing. So they kind of they trotted ahead of him to get away from him, and they kind of slow down a bit. So he kind of falls in between them. I would count them as within melee range.
Let's do that.
Laffel, are you moving up beside near Klobos?
Yeah, I will do. He obviously is well the second most important thing in the caravan. The most important thing, of course, being the ruby itself. So I'll aim to protect him.
Okay, cool. Right, so you move up. Okay, excellent. A lot of the brute squad aren't really aware of. They're not thinking tactically or strategically. They're just kind of like. They're like, some of them are like looking up at the sky. Some of them are like walking along. One guy's picking his nose. A lot of them have their weapons in their hands, and most of them have those kind of big cudgels you've seen them kind of bashing people over the head with. So they are armed, right? But they're not in any kind of way really keeping an eye out. They're, because you guys are telling them what to do most of the time, they're fallen into a kind of, oh, well, they'll tell us if anything's happening kind of mode, right? So what's the signal sound like, Dan?
It doesn't sound like anything.
Okay.
Lika reaches into her pouch and gets a small piece of lavender, crushes it in her hand. She blows it, and then a certain warm mist kind of rises up out of the ground with a lavender-ish smell to it. And she has cast Sleep.
Okay.
Let's do this. So it is 10 hit dice worth of sleepiness, starting with the lowest
hit dice
ones.
creatures. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, I think that's like all of the brute squad. Let me just check. Hang on.
Surely it's only 10 of the 14.
Yes, you're right. It's 10 of the 14. So 10 fall asleep. Do they get a save?
They do not get a save. There is no save.
Wow. Sleep is such a good spell. It's like, lots of people take Magic Missile, but like sleep is like, boom, they're out of action. So you do your, and this sleepy mist arises. It's got a briny hint to it.
Yes, it's got. I'm keeping with the water theme
Yeah,
here. So it's almost like a watery steam,
Yeah. Like
lavender. How's my
and
sleep?
the brute squad are all like walking along, and suddenly some of them just like fall over. One guy was like relacing his boots, and he just like
Face plants.
collapses onto the floor. And the other 4 of them left are like, what's going on? And suddenly there's chaos. As Bereth says, for Huskrin and freedom, and he stands up, momentarily puts his foot on a rock and roars that, and everyone's like, oh, and Dodecimus pushes this big boulder off of over the side, and it rolls down, and suddenly there's chaos, and we'll roll initiative. So we will have, this is interesting, right? Because it's almost like we've got 3 groups. We've got the rebels, we've got the bad guys, and we've got the undercover lovers. So I don't know where, or should we just have good guys and bad guys? Let's just have good
guys and bad guys, will just keep it simple.
Guys. That will keep it simple. Okay, right. So I would like one of you lovely. In fact, Dan, you should roll because you have initiated the ambush, right?
It's just a roll a d6, isn't it?
Roll a d6.
A 5. I believe that is a healthy roll.
I too rolled a 5. Let's
We need to roll again now.
Yes.
Roll off.
I roll a 4. Oh, you rolled
Oh,
a 5 again.
Good. Oh, he maintained form. Look at that.
Okay.
Consistency.
What are
So-
the odds? I could tell you.
1 in 5. What?
Of rolling a. Okay, so you do that. So you get your sleep spell off, and that's the trigger for the ambush. And Bereth stands up and he's like, "Go!" And everyone's like, and the brute squad are like, "Oh, what's going on?" But 2 people on the bad guy team react: Klobos and the other cultist.
Yeah.
The cultist races over to the nearest brute squad people, right? And he's like, get up, what are you doing? Get quick. And starts kind of shouting at them, those ones that are asleep, and he's trying to wake them up. Because you can wake these people up, right?
You can. They cannot be woken up by normal noise, but they will rouse if shaken or slapped.
Oh, he's gonna go slap him. So he's gonna move. Oh no, actually, sorry, we should do. Let me just check the round order, because magic comes before move, right?
Yeah.
It's melee,
think so.
missile, magic, move.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, Klobos is going to. He suddenly snaps out of his reverie, and he touches something on his arm. You can't see from where you are. And off to one side, 2 of the brute squad, who are wearing brooches, are suddenly affected by crustacean transmogrification, and their bodies swell and tear and rupture, and all their clothes like tear off, and they go, their bodies broaden, and their back curls over, and their arms go out, and they turn into large pincers, and their legs split into like 6 legs. I think it's 6, isn't it? 6 legs at the bottom, and they kind of fan out. And these 2 who were awake, right? They're the only 2 with brooches who were awake, because the other 2 aren't. Turn into bloody big crabs. And they are annoyed and looking for people to attack. But they kind of like, and they don't get to do anything. They've just gone through a horrific transmogrification, and there are now 2 large crabs there, kind of going, and he's going, creatures of Kalkos, hear me now. Strike those who would take the Crab King's eye from me. He's getting all very excited about it as well. Both leaders are both very, very carried away.
Yep.
So then the other guy runs over, jumps down, and slaps one of the brooch-wearing brute squad. So there are 2 awake. So I'm going to have awake and sleep columns now on my sheet. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
It's all right. We've got brooch, and we've got crab. Those crab are very much awake, and those, 2 of those.
Step 1, take brooch off.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that is the bad guys go. Over to you guys.
Melee first, right? So
Melee. No one's really in melee range apart from Laffel Good, who is standing next to Klobos with your weapon ready, I assume, because you're like all primed to punch him in the guts.
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome.
First,
Okay.
though, seeing that just happened, that those two guys just, you know, crabified themselves. Well, not themselves, but got crabified. Try and get rid of that brooch. Can
Yeah,
I
you can
remove
just.
that? Is that
It's very minor action for you to just take it off and throw it away.
cool? Take that thing off and take a swing at Globos.
Okay, cool. You're now fighting ability 2, right?
Yes.
So here we go. Let's have a look. What happens?
And roll. Oh, good start.
Critical
Oh,
miss.
no!
Good start.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's roll critical miss for fighter class.
It's been good knowing you guys. Itself.
Oh no!
There we go.
Okay. Oh my god.
It was a great
Hang on,
plan.
hang on. Let me...
Really good plan.
2, 7, 8.
We knew this would happen.
Yeah.
It was a good
course.
plan.
It was a good plan.
Okay, fighter.
Absolutely.
Hit. You rolled a 12 on a 12, so you got hit self. Okay, so hit self. Normal damage inflicted to self. So roll your damage.
That's pretty grim because he does a lot of damage.
I do a lot of damage. I don't know how to roll just my damage in this. So it's just a
Yeah.
D8.
Yeah.
There's a full 8. There you go.
Oh my god!
And I add my my strength to that as well, damage mod, right? So it's a 9.
How many hit points do you have in total?
20.
20. Okay, right. So you're on 11.
Yes.
Buckets of it.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ!
So you're in your haste to remove your brooch. You're like, fuck this. You see this thing going on, like one not that very far from you, right? And by the way, it seemed kind of random which ones turned, right? It didn't like he went you and you. It was just he did something and then it happened. So you took it off and threw it away, and then you like swung and completely missed off balance and hit yourself in the face with your mace.
Yeah.
You think you've just broken your own nose.
Yeah. Ow.
Ow, indeed. Right. Aldoon. Jean was close. Is he also in? Because you can remember you can do a small move in the melee round. You can do a 5
Yes. If I do melee, then I can't do magic.
No,
Right.
that's you can't. No, you can't.
I'm holding out for the magic.
Okay, right. So we've done melee,
We'll take the approach.
missiles. So what we're going to do is I'm going to narrative describe what happens with most of the other creatures. I'm not going to roll 15 archers and da, 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 da. So like a whole group of guys stand up in their positions behind rocks, behind a tree, arrows fire down. You've told them who not to shoot, right? So most of the arrows don't go anywhere near our heroes, which is good. And a couple of the sleeping guys get arrows in them, but a bunch of people miss. And one hits the first echelon guy. So he's been hurt.
What are Clem and Jarvis doing?
Yeah, I was going to ask actually.
What are they doing? Oh, they were going to hit the first echelon guy, weren't they?
But I also
But
assume
he
they've
moved away.
I also assume they've seen the others all thrown off their brooches. I hope so, anyway.
They will take those off. And actually, Chern says, Jean, what would you have us do?
Take out the red arm.
Okay, so they're going to basically charge him on horseback. Here we go, let's make it fun for myself, why not? But these guys aren't particularly skilled, so they're kind of the same as the Brute Squad guys. Because if you remember, they were like guards, ex-guards as well. So they charge over, and let me see if...
There is a mounted charge on page 270.
270, thank you very much.
Sorry.
Horseman can make a mounted charge if the target is at least 60 feet away and the path is relatively straight. Level and free of obstructions. Okay, it's not level and free of obstructions. Let me just see. +1. Okay, 14. That hits an armor class of 5. Which hits. And no. So one of them hits him, and you just see it's kind of suddenly there's chaos, right? And they charge him, and one of them, it looks like one of them runs him down. As the kind of brute squad guy is lying on the floor, like trying to sort of wake up. He's been slapped around the face. Bereth and some of his other raiders are running down to engage the brute squad guys at the front. So they're going to be in the move phase, but that comes after missile and magic. So Aldun, you wanted to do something magic?
Yeah.
Dan, did you want to go in the missile round, or are you waiting for something else?
I'm moving down because
Okay,
I've just
right, so
seen.
you're
I
gonna-
think I've just
okay.
seen Lafau Good smack himself in the face, and
You certainly have. Okay,
Really good hit as well.
It is Jean first in the
Can I
magic
tell-
phase.
Go Decimus though to head straight for Klobos.
Yeah, he's going to move down as well. It would take you 1 round to get to brute squad. It would take you 2 rounds to get to Klobos.
That's fine. I'm making my way towards Lafau at the moment.
Okay. Cool. So Jean, what is your magic?
I will turn and stare at Klobos, take off my brooch and cast it on the ground, and command him to sleep.
Sleep. Oh. Right, so he can make a save, right? Because
If he's clever, if he's intelligent.
he's intelligent enough. And what is it a save against?
It's a sorcery saving throw modified by willpower adjustment. I don't know what that means.
He won't. He's a NPC, so it doesn't work the same way. Okay, here we go.
That looks like a.
That's a 1.
Oh my god, how many critical fails can we get? What did you command him to do?
Sleep.
Sleep. Okay, so he will like fall down.
Yep.
Asleep. Cool. I assume you hitting him over the head will break that effect, though.
If disturbed, then yes, it will break.
Disturbed, yeah. You're disturbing me. He slumps against the wagon. Sort of like, like that. You think one of the crabs looking at you, Jean?
Hello! Gippy.
Okay. So, Alika, you're going to run down. So you've moved for a round.
Yep.
And you're halfway to Laffel, who is there, having hit himself in the face, looking around. And the other guys run down into melee with the brute squad. So they're all kind of fighting away, right? So we'll go back to the bad guys, and the crabs, sensing what's happening to Klobos, move in towards Jean and Laffel. There's one on either side, and they are going to move and melee.
Oh shit!
They're going to have to move and attack at the end of the round.
Yeah.
Right, because they've got to move their full distance. And they can't charge because it's not clear, it's not straight and clear ground, right? So
Only
they're gonna
move
have to-
sideways.
And they move sideways. So they have to turn sideways and then run toward, check you're still there, keep going, check you're still there, keep going. So they're coming towards you, and you can see they've got big claws, and they're going, and they're coming towards you with their kind of little bits of human, skin kind of drip off them occasionally as they come towards you like this. And they are both big blue crabs.
Blue crabs. Oh,
Yes.
level 2 crabs.
So they're kind of, they look amazing, in terms of crabs, but this thing wants to come and snip your head off. So at the end of the round, after you guys have had your actions, they will then attack John and Laffel.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So Klobos doesn't do anything because he's asleep.
Yep.
And you hear on the other side a scream. And if you remember one of your previous encounters, there was a sort of red energy blast from one of the cultists. It seems something similar has happened on the other side, and Churn or Javis, you can't be sure because they've moved around. Someone's fallen off their horse. The fighting is going on. The brute squad are fighting. They are... So a lot of them are asleep. Yeah, so there's a few of them fighting these rebels, and there are arrows now raining down. Well, they will be raining down shortly. So that's the bad guys. Over to the good guys.
Oh, don't kill yourself, please.
So in melee, we have Lafal and Jean are in melee range of Klobos. But I'm also going to say that you can hold your attack to hit the crabs if you want. Like set
probably.
for a charge kind of thing. But if you don't have a spear, it doesn't mean you get to go first.
Makes sense. If Klobos is on the floor counting crabs, most likely, I'll get ready to attack the big crustaceans.
Okay. Let me just see if there's anything for...
Jean is going to move further away.
Yeah.
So you go back to back with Lafelle, actually, and going, we must make sure that Globus is not disturbed. As long as he's not disturbed, he will remain asleep.
Yeah. For how long?
6 rounds.
6 rounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Measure, mark that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if there's anything about... Because it says, oh, you attack at the end of the round, but then you're going to potentially attack them. So you will attack at the end of the round, so those attacks will happen simultaneously on the crab. So, John, sorry, what were you doing?
I'm going to move to be kind of back to back with Lafelle and standing. If we imagine there's the cart and then there's Lafelle and then there's Jean, so forming a bit of a triangle.
Like it, yeah. And Klobos is behind you, asleep, leaning against it. And you two look like you're kind of defending him, but not really. You're making sure no one wakes him up.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. And these crabs are coming towards you. So you're going to attack the crab at the same time when it reaches you. Okay, cool. So, Dan, Alika is going to move in and do magic.
So first, as I'm running down, I'm going to be like, focus fire on the crabs. And then, I'm going to try and get to Lafal and do cure wounds on him. Cure light wounds on him.
Okay, so you can move and do your magic.
Okay. Let's do this. Lafal, you get 1 hit point back.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
Classic.
Wow.
Classic.
Oh, man.
Fabulous rolls are coming out this evening.
Yeah.
You can make it up. Here you go. Everything's been a...
Never know.
Okay. You never know. That 1 hit point might be the difference between life and death.
Yeah.
Very true.
We shall
The
see.
last one matters.
Okay. So, that means at the end of the round... No, first, so you guys moved. We've got the archers are going to shoot at the crabs. So the arrows rain down. The crabs have got pretty good armor class.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Funny enough. And we're going to say have 5 archers. Let's do... Hang on. What we can do is if I add in because they're all the same. They're all the same skill, right? These brute squad and rebels, right? So I can use the brute squad stats just to roll for them. So what I'll do is I'll roll 5 attacks against crabs, right? And we will see if any of them hit. Oh. Attack. Nope.
Ooh.
Critical hit.
My.
Okay. 4 damage. Okay, cool. Cruel critical hit for NPC class. Times 3 damage. Wow.
12 damage to a
12
crab.
damage. So one of them. Okay, well, I'll roll all of them and then so we've got 12 damage to one of them. Next one. Nope. Next one. Nope. And next one. Nope. Okay. So there's a hail of arrows, and one arrow goes into the one crab where Jean was out the front and stepped in next to Lafal. That crab is having to come round the corner, and a stray arrow, more by chance than design, goes in through one of the facial orifice areas, and this gout of nasty kind of goo and blood comes spraying out, and it does this kind of weird shudder, but it keeps coming towards you. So that one has taken 12 points of damage. That was a good hit. That was a very good hit. Okay, so as these crabs appear round the wagon, or one from in front of you, Lafal, and Jean, the one comes round the wagon. The one coming towards you, Jean, has got a nasty, like, twisted arrow sticking out of its face.
You have a little something. You have a little something?
Yes, make them more angry, Jean.
It is my way.
So, what we're going to do is they will attack you.
Seemed like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, right, so first off, so all this is simultaneous, right? So these 4, 2 from me and 2 from you guys. So I will attack you guys first. So first off, we'll have the one against Lafal. Lafal, what's your armor class?
4.
4, okay. Here we go. I missed armor class 9. So that was rubbish. Then we will attack Jean. This round they only get 1 attack.
This round.
Next round, maybe not. Right, Jean, what's your armor class?
Armor class 6, please, Bob.
6. Hits armor class 6. 8 points of damage.
But I'm not dead because I'm not level 2.
Excellent. Excellent. So it comes in and it's like, "Ugh," and it like tears up across your body, and you're like, ah.
A lesser man would be crushed by such a thing.
Lafal, you're like, you thought Jean would have gone down to a blow like that, but there's some more steel to him now.
Frankly amazed.
Or whips.
Absolutely. Right, so let's have you guys attacking back.
Come on, Lafal. You can do it.
Not my own face this time, please.
Hey!
That is a hit.
That's it.
Palpable hit.
7 damage.
So that was 7 damage. Okay. Great. And
Can I swing at the one that's attacking Lafal?
you can, but the one in front of you looks like it's more grievously wounded. But you can swing at the one in front of Lafal.
I'm going to swing at the one in front of Lafal.
Okay.
Bring him up, basically. Do I get any bonuses for flankenings or anything?
Because you're engaged as well. So it's...
Okay. Just asking.
Armor class 6. Unfortunately, that's a miss.
A whiff.
A whiff.
Smash a whiff.
Unfortunately. Okay, so
Go for the legs, but it's weird fighting crab legs.
you're going for the kind of shell cracking with your weapons, aren't you? You want to eat the fleshy bit afterwards, don't you? So
Oh, no.
Is that cannibalism? They were once humans.
Crabs.
Alika, you are amazed at these two going toe to toe. These crabs are kind of like 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot kind of blocks. You know, like they're not
They're
like
big.
you know, they're medium-sized creatures, but for a crab, that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you're like, oh my god. You've already gone. Archers have gone. There's fighting going on.
Where's Dodecimus?
Dodecimus. Yes. He has been moving in to attack at the end of the round.
Yeah.
So he comes up behind the... here we go. Let me get Dodecimus. Where are we? And he is going to attack the crab that got shot with the arrow. So he's going to move up behind that with his brutal sword, as I've called it on his character sheet, and swing.
Oh, no!
Dodecimus, no.
Terrible.
What are you doing to us? This has
Wow.
been a bad night for
He's got
rolls.
+4. What did he roll? A 2?
At least it wasn't a crit.
Wow.
It was near it.
It was near enough, right? Oh,
Very
sorry.
close. Dangerously close.
Okay,
No.
unfortunately, Dodecimus, even for Dodecimus, this is a weird situation, right? So he's kind of slightly perturbed. You see consternation, not fear, not worry, not anxiety, but annoyance on his face. Okay, cool. So we will go back round to our bad guys. So this is now round 2 or 3 that he's been asleep.
Oh, 2. 2 of
Oh,
sleep.
2 for Klobos.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 for Klobos. Okay. And how long are the brute squad asleep? I mean, they're all getting stabbed up on the floor.
They're asleep until they wake up. So
just like natural sleep.
Yeah,
Oh, right,
it's
so it's
like,
like 8
but
hours.
it's just natural sleep, but they can't be woken up by a normal noise.
Yeah. But a sword through the gut will do it, right?
Yeah, it would do, but
Yeah.
shortly afterwards might be dead. So
Yeah.
that was my plan.
Okay, so the rebels and the brute squad are all kind of occupied in the background, as well as Churn and Javis, and it's kind of focused in. The camera focuses in. You know, there's kind of dust kicking up and fighting going on around. But much like in action movies, you're not really like looking at that kind of stuff. You know, they're all pretending to like hit each other while the focus characters are getting their time on screen. So these 2 giant crabs are there, and they are going to turn around and like attack all of you, right? So Alika, you're in range to heal, right? So you're in range for a snip.
Yeah.
So is Dodecimus now, right? So the crab that Dodecimus attacked is going to turn and attack Alika and Dodecimus, and the one that's in front of Lafal will attack Jean and Lafal.
Oh,
So there's kind of 2-on-1, 2 sets of 2-on-1 going on.
no.
So, bloody big crab. Here we go. So this one we're going to start with. Let's start with Dodecimus, right? So I'm going to do a pincer attack on Dodecimus. He misses.
I love the name is Bloody Big Crab.
Well, yeah, it's a bloody big crab. Alika, what's your armor class?
6.
6. Okay, here we go. That's a hit, and that's
That
6
is a
points
hit.
of damage.
That is 6 points of damage.
Like puts so much pressure on your arm. You're like, you're like serious pain. You think the bone nearly broke there. That was terrible. Right, then Lafal, armor class
4.
4. That's a hit. 7 hit points.
Fair enough.
How many hit
Okay.
points?
I only have so much healing, guys.
How many hit points you on now?
5.
5. Okay.
It's still up.
Still here.
And then Jean.
Hello.
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 That's
Oh
a
no!
hit, and that's 8 hit
That's 8
points.
points of damage again.
So you're down, right?
I'm very down.
Okay, you're down.
Down.
Right. Okay, so you collapse to the floor
Yeah.
as it snips around your face, like in one of those kind. You know that shrimp that can punch like a bullet kind of shot. This is like it's a flick of the claw, and you're like, and then you like slow-mo fall, hit the dust, and Dodecimus is like, no. Okay, so that's the bad guys go. Do you fall backwards and land on top of Klobos?
Wondering.
No, that would be harsh. Maybe I should roll a d12, and on a 1 you land on top of Klobos and he wakes up. No, you just fall over, and your friend is down. This is shocking to everyone. And we will then go to our heroes, our good guys. So you're all in melee, so you can all go for it.
Excellent.
Should Dodecimus have a go? Should we let him have a go?
Yeah. Oh, Dodecimus, take this thing out. AC 7.
No,
Oh my god.
that's a miss.
Dodecimus, you're killing us here, man. Go on, Lafal.
Can we get the refund?
Yeah.
We'll
Can
get some
I
more archers in a minute? So
can we? Because one has taken a hit from me, and the other one's already took a hit from the arrow, right? The arrow was more substantial. So can I hit that one?
sure.
Or at least attempt to.
Yeah. I mean, you're all there together, kind of shuffling around. Oh, hang on.
Rah.
You are now flanking, aren't you?
Yeah, because that'd be 3-on-1.
Yeah. Well, it would at least be 2-on-1 because Dodecimus is engaged, whereas
Yeah.
you know.
Do I get any bonuses from that? Is that
So
Plus
you get
1, I believe.
plus 1, I think.
Plus 1.
It is. Let me just double check. Hang on.
all right?
Might make a difference. Attacker is flanking, plus 1. Yep.
I'm gonna cast Let if I was still alive. That would have given you +1 as well.
It's -4.
That is a hit. That is definitely a hit. So you're attacking the one that got the arrow in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could attack either of them. Okay, your mace hits the end of the arrow and punches it into the face of the creature, and it kind of shudders and does that thing where it's like, and its limbs kind of shake a bit, and it falls dead to the floor. And when it falls dead, it goes into like a weird, you know that bit in Galaxy Quest where they beam the thing inside out?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, and it's not very nice. I won't go into detail.
Gross. Very.
Okay. well
Next.
done. Do you get 3 every 2, Lafal?
I don't think I do yet.
No?
I think I'm still 1-on-1.
Haven't you got weapon mastery?
I do have
thought
weapon mastery, actually.
I thought weapon mastery meant that you got... Maybe not. Maybe it's...
I just get +1 to hits and damage from weapon mastery.
Oh, okay.
I do get 3-1 at some point. At 7, level 7 melee expert.
Oh, wow.
Equal level 7 again.
Okay, melee attack rate 1-1, 3-2. Attack rate master 1st to 6th level. So melee weapon, if you've got mastery on a melee weapon, you get 3 every 2.
Oh, I do?
Yep.
Ooh.
Attack rate
case.
base is 1 for 1. And fighters at 7th level, every weapon is 3 for 2 for them.
Ah,
If
right.
you're a
Fair enough.
master, it's 3 for 2 now, and at 7th level, it's 2 every 1.
Fair enough. Then I've got 3 for 2, yeah.
So you should have 2 attacks this turn.
Yay.
Should have been last turn, but we forgot about it, so we'll do it this turn.
Fair.
You could punch yourself in the face twice if you want. Okay, so you can attack the other one.
Yes. We can definitely go for that. Have at the 7?
That's a
AC
miss.
7?
That's a
Ah.
miss, unfortunately. Okay, so you're like, and then, but it's like the moving around and everyone, you nearly trip over Jean's body. You know, you got
Sorry,
to be
Jean.
careful. And then it's Alika.
So Lika is going to stand between Jean and the other crab, and then get up, Jean.
6 hit points.
I was having a lovely day. Oh, hello.
You're not dead yet.
We won yet.
You say that and you look up at Alika and there's a giant crab behind her.
So no. Okay.
But
And
Jean,
that's-
you are currently not engaged in combat because Alika is, but has
No.
positioned herself between you and the creature. So there's 3-on-1 on the creature, but Alika's effectively not paying attention to it.
Can I do a thing? When I come round?
You weren't moving, were you? So you magic. So you can go in the move phase because you come
Okay.
back in the magic phase. So you can move and do a melee or missile or
Can I do a magic? It's really bold, isn't it?
yes,
Yes?
yes.
Now, do I cure Lefel? Do I cast Bless? It's the question.
What does bless do?
Bless, all allies within 25 feet of the caster are sanctified, gain +1 on any saving throws versus fear. That's irrelevant. +1 bonus on all attack rolls.
That would also affect all of the lovely allied fighters around us as well, wouldn't it?
25
Yeah.
feet. Some of them.
So,
How many
They
hit
do-
points has Lafau got? 5?
it's got loads, it'll be fine.
Okay, well, there's one snip for Decimus and one snip for Lafau, so we'll see. Lafau's got pretty good armor class, you know.
Yeah, if you'll allow it, I'll do that.
I'll let you get up and do a blessing. Yeah, like your god has brought you back, or our god has brought you back, and you're like, oh, here's some divine
Rising up.
balance.
Tearing off the false shells. Shall raise the raven-headed mace aloft and go, "The Raven God will bless this battle. Let us paint these rocks red with crab blood."
Nice. You look over, Bereth standing on a rock, just taking someone down. Okay, and you cast bless,
It's kind
so
of
you all get +1 to hit.
Oh my god, I might
Hey.
actually hit something.
Maybe.
Ah.
We'll see. Okay, so how long does that last?
3 turns.
3 turns. And how long left on Klobos's sleep command?
3.
3 turns. And
Command is
Alika...
6 rounds.
Sorry?
Command is 6 rounds rather than
Okay.
turns.
Okay, so a round is a combat round. A turn is like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Yeah, well, yes, there's 3 rounds left on the command.
Okay. But a bless lasts turns.
Last 3 turns. Yes.
Okay, so that lasts like 30 rounds. Okay, cool. I might have the rounds to turns wrong for Hyperborea, but we're okay for today. Rulings, not rules. Let's keep going. So, where were we? We just had the hero turn. That John had gone down. Bit of fighting. Crab goes down. Healing come back up. It's all happening. All the class powers going on. And John kind of stands up and does this blessing of his raven god, and you all feel emboldened by this divine power. Back round to the back. No, then the surrounding guys are fighting away, and you get the sense that your guys are winning, right? Largely down to the sleep spell that knocked out 10 of the bad guys, right? And actually, now seeing how long it's taking for them to dispatch sleeping brute squad, you're a little bit worried that they may not have done it if they were toe to toe. But importantly, there are 3 archers firing at your crab. So we're going to fire because there's more fighting going on down below, and a couple of them have turned to shoot. So I'm going to roll where's my brute squad stats? There we go. I'm going to roll short bows for your rebels. So we've got an AC3, that's a miss. Got an AC, misses AC9, and we've got a hits AC6, that's a miss. So 3 arrows bounce off the crab's armor in front of you, ting ting ting, and you're like, ah! This thing is like, dripping blood, and it's like looking, you can't, with a crab you can't quite tell where the, like, it's got little eye things, but they don't really look like eyes, do they? They look like dark opal type things. So they're hard creatures to kind of get a judge of. And we will go back to the bad guy's turn. So this crab in front of you, Alika, you're kind of not quite like fighting it, but you're in close combat with it. It is kind of going to make a decision, right? So I'm going to roll now random to see which 2 people it attacks. On a 1 to 2, it's Dodecimus, because 1 and 2 is 12. On a 3 to 4, it's Alika, and on a 5 to 6, it's Lafal. Okay, so for each attack, so I'm going to roll this twice, and then we'll see. Alika and Lafal.
No.
Because Dodecimus was not very effective, right? So, okay, so let's roll for Alika. How many hit points are you on, Alika?
10. I'm golden. It's fine.
10.
Bye.
And what's your roll class?
AC6.
AC6. Here we go. Oh,
Yeah!
That's a miss.
Because I'm healing people, and my god cares about me.
Exactly. And Kalkos has no power here, although he has turned creatures into crabs. Lafal, armor class 4 and 5 hit points. Is that correct?
Yep. Correct.
Okay. Here we go. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Armor class 9. Rubbish. Doesn't hit you.
Nope.
It's kind of getting cornered, and it's doing that nervous, jittery thing where a creature that's surrounded, it's kind of snapping kind of too early and missing as you guys are, group tactics now surrounding it and like poking it with sharp sticks or big blunt sticks. Okay, so that is the bad guy's go. With this sleep command, when it says disturb, does loud noises of fighting like disturb someone in there?
Does not specify. It says.
I'm joking. Don't worry.
Less disturbed.
Sure. I'm going to assume that means someone will have to physically interact with him. Okay. So, back to you guys. Still this pesky crab standing there, trying to go for you. It's missing. Like 3 of you are in melee range. Jean, you're just behind.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a spear, you could, just that kind of example. That's the kind of position you're in, right? But unfortunately, you're not so equipped. So would you 3? Dodecimus is going to make a melee attack. Are you 2 going to make melee attacks?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'll let you guys go first because it's more fun if you guys do it.
I'm
than
also weapon
Dodecimus.
class 4, so I should be going first.
Okay. Well, we'll have Dan go first then.
Doesn't matter, I'll miss terribly, but...
Well, you never know.
There you go.
That's a hit.
There you go.
That is a hit. Well done. The trident is the perfect weapon for getting in
I'm used
there
to fighting
with
sea
a crab.
creatures.
Exactly. So you bring that trident in, and you find the exposed flesh between. There's that side bit where the shell doesn't quite come together, and because the arms are coming out, and you're like in there. If you just had a bit of garlic and butter, it would be lovely. So that's a hit. Well done, Lafal.
We're still flanking, yeah, with +1s and all that stuff.
And you're blessed.
Yeah.
I'm a blessed,
And
yeah.
you're blessed.
Still
Did you have
plus-
those, Dan?
+2. Yes, I did. That's what
That's what
+2
your
at the
plus
end
two
there is.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
-4.
Wow.
9 damage.
-4. Spurred on by his companion's sudden martial prowess. Lafal cannot be embarrassed. He's the warrior, right? So he needs to do so he's like, wow, jumps up in the air, wabash on the head, and it kind of collapses onto the floor, its arms and legs kind of splaying out sideways. And though Decimus is looks like he was about to run it through, but he kind of looks at you guys like, he's just like, gives you that well done, grim, well done. I'm not gonna break. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, well done. And he turns, and he kind of runs off to engage. You know, there's other people to be killed, and there's other fighting going on. Jean.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm considering a coup de grace.
Okay. So you want to go over and murderize old Klobos where he lies.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is an OSR game. Surely there's a coup de grace listing in here somewhere. Let me have a little look. I mean, he is asleep. He is lying down. You guys are all standing there. You could all just simultaneously...
That's the other option. If there isn't
Skewer.
there isn't an elegant coup de grace of just opening an artery, then we'll all simultaneously fumble our rolls, stab each other.
No, I would say that it wouldn't be necessarily a roll to hit, but it might be like a damage roll.
Yeah.
With a critical applied.
At the very least, can I get a backstab on this as well?
Oh yeah.
I haven't managed one yet.
I think you could call this. I think you could. Oh look, his heart's about there. I'm not stabbing him in the back, but I know where the major organs are. Let's go for it. So, what does backstab do for you?
The attack roll is made with an additional +4 to hit, and additional weapons damage are rolled according to the level of experience. So 1 to 4 is a ×2.
Okay.
So
Is he prone or is he stunned? I mean, either way, he gets -4 to his AC.
He's
at this point.
prone.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
he's
going to
minus-
make you roll. What I'm going to say is, you can roll damage and apply your backstab modifier. So ×2, did you say? Yep. And then what we'll do is we'll roll a thief critical, and we'll see what modifier you get to that modified damage. And if it's more than his hit points, then he's dead. If it's not, he will wake up, but he will be probably horribly hurt. What damage do you roll with your weapon? Sorry, I didn't
Can't
hear
hear
you.
you.
Was it a D8?
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So D8 ×2.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You could kill him. So it's not impossible.
Well, let's give it a go. Yeah, we roll
Yep,
it there.
roll damage. Roll damage. Just roll
plus
1d8 ×2.
The important thing is not to hit yourself in the face.
Well, I don't have to roll to hit. So thank you for the tip.
So this is a mace, right? So you're just going for a whack to the head that will just stave his head in. Yeah. Okay, cool. That'll work.
Yeah.
Blunt force trauma is, it's up there. Okay, so let's
Nice.
roll 1d8 ×2.
So it's got
Okay,
10.
so 10, right? Now what we need to do is roll on the thief critical table.
We did that.
You roll 1d6, and you want a high number.
Got a 2.
Roll a 2. So you get +2 damage. So you do 12 points of damage to him as you bash him over the head. And his eyes shoot open. Okay. And he's like, ugh. And that was the end of your go, right? That was all of you guys. So now it's my go. Ooh, twiddly twiddly. No, he's he doesn't know who's wearing. He can't tell who's wearing a brooch. He can't tell who's up and standing. So there's no point doing that, right? Because that would just be kind of craziness. Instead, bear with me a moment. Okay.
Might have another lie down now.
Sorry.
Might have another lie down shortly.
No, he's actually going to attack you with his claw. Because he's like woken up, he's like completely confused, he doesn't know what's going on, and you're standing over him with a thing, so he's just going to go, and he's got an actual like, it's you seeing it up close, it's like made from a vambrace and armor, and it's got filigree, and looks like it's tough and strong, it's got a sharp point to it, so this is like a piece of armor and a weapon all in one thing, right?
Quality claw there.
So he's going to attack you. What's your armor class and how many points you got?
6 and 6.
Okay. So hit armor class 2 and he did 3 points of damage. So his hand shot out and he went, just reaction, and just clawed at you, and blood.
Started you.
Blood flicks out. Yeah. Okay, so that's his go. There's no other bad guys nearby at this point. It is round to you guys, the three of you standing over Klobos.
I think you know what's about to happen.
He is prone, so he has -4 to his armor class right now.
Oh, wow.
Because he's just... Oh, no, hang on. No. He would have got up, right? He would have stood up.
I would have
clawed
assumed
you.
he would have slashed and then made his way
slashed
up.
and then got up. Like, used the momentum to, get up, So he's standing, right? So he's not at -4 armor class. That would be silly, really. So he stands up, claws, and then he's ready. You guys, over to you.
A lethal stab first as our weapon class 4.
Okay.
And I assume we're flanking as well because there's many of us.
And you're blessed.
Yeah, I'd say you count as flanking, so you get a +1, definitely.
And then +1 for Bliss.
Yep.
I hit AC of 1! I've
That's
hit
a
twice
hit.
today! 4 damage!
4 damage. Okay.
Best day ever.
Yeah.
Okay. You skewer him with the trident, and he's like, you false unbelievers, and you filth of an Atlantean god, you will all die before the power of Kalkos.
Would one of you two shut him up? So I'm trying to hold him in place with the trident still stuck in him.
Nefed, if you'd like to do the honors.
You first, Clobos.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh my god. Please don't hit yourself in the face again. Please don't hit yourself in the face again. If you kill yourself, that's going to be really bad.
Trip and fall.
No dex bonus for remainder of round and
So much
until
worse.
next action. Okay, so you're prone. Okay, fine. You don't
I'm
lose
just
your
not-
weapon. You're just prone until your next action.
I'm just not used to fighting in this environment, and there's crab guts everywhere, and it's rocky, and it's help. I'm on the ground and I've fallen over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm hoping that screaming is a free action. It'll be done.
Yes, screaming is a free action,
And
but
then,
you can do other actions if you want.
And then I will attempt to thump the nice man in the face.
Okay.
Maybe the arm, but basically thump him.
That is a hit. Oh, you whack him in the face.
Yeah.
It's like a tooth comes out. It's like, I will be born again in the form of crustacean teeth. I will no longer need this human form. It is weak. When Calcos takes me to the Pearlescent Tower, I will be rewarded over your dead bodies. And he's like, ah. Okay, so that was your go, right? Okay, so it's now his go. So, sorry?
Dodecimus coming.
Dodecimus has gone off to fight other people.
I was screaming.
Can't have Dodecimus kill the boss. That's down to you guys.
Well, we'd help if we stopped hitting ourselves in the face.
Yeah, probably. Right, so he has got 2 attacks this turn. So he is going to attack the traitor Jean and Lafal while he's down.
Come on.
On the floor.
Well, I mean, come on, he's a bad guy, right?
Oh my god!
So let's do an attack on Jean. Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Oh
Sleepy,
no!
sleepy time.
Are you down?
The only one still
Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe Dodecimus does come back. Okay, and then we're going to do an attack on Lafal.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
that's a hit.
missed.
No, because he's
No,
minus
no,
4
hit.
because he's prone.
-4.
Oh, a hit. Oh, yeah.
And
You
he's
down
just
as
knocked
well.
unconscious.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, see what
I've got
happens.
no magic. I can't pick anyone up. Oh dear.
Did you not take magic missile?
No, I took sleep instead.
Joking.
No.
Okay, so background to you guys. Alika.
I guess I've just got to hit the bloke. At least try.
Yep.
I'm not flanking anymore, that's for certain.
No, I don't think you blessed him anymore either. I don't know whether it lasts.
Yeah, it's just out in the world.
It's just out in the world. It just
Yeah.
lasts the free.
That's nice.
No,
No.
no.
No. Panicking, panicking now.
Okay. So, background to you guys.
Should have left him asleep.
In the missile phase, some archers will shoot at him, just like they were with the crab. So, we will do one attack.
They critically miss and hit us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Armor
Lika
class
in the
7, no.
back.
Mrs. Armor Class 9.
It's
That's
2.
a hit. Okay. And as you stand there, Alika, you're fighting away. Your friends are falling beside you, and an arrow hits him in the neck. And he's like, Calcos, take me. Take me. And he kind of looks suddenly like he's alone, and he collapses onto the floor.
I will proceed to use Medicine Man to over 2 turns to revive my people.
Okay.
Okay, this time have we won?
You eat 1d4 hit points.
I'm
Why
not
does it-
getting up again unless we've won this time, okay?
And as he drops, and
I'll take that one then. There's something sassy about it.
I'm just doing. I assume like we've won the battle.
yeah.
Like,
So what happens is, as he falls, there's still a few people holding out, but like they've pretty much butchered everybody. And Bereth comes out, and he's like, "Huzzah! Huzzah! Victory!" And a few of his people have fallen, and all of the sleeping brute squad were horribly murdered. And Javis died,
Oh.
unfortunately, but Churn is still alive but battered, and comes over and says, "Those crab fuckers, we got them
Yes.
finally."
Yes. Well done. I am sorry for your companion.
He doesn't say anything when you bring it up.
We will
Let's
take his body back.
a couple of the mules in the
Excitement.
run off or got shot with arrows. So some of the carts for the other ore and ledgers and things are, you know, they don't have anything to pull them.
It's not very important.
But Berith has like put some of his guys to like pull those carts, and he says, he looks slightly confused. Lafal, are you up now? You've got healed, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. These are your friends, then, Alika.
They are.
You fought well. Giant crabs. I was not expecting such foul creatures to appear on the battlefield today.
Yes.
Why does it smell of iron and lavender? What?
Oh, the lavender was me. Sorry.
No, that was good. That was really good. But yeah, big crab. Ow.
Jean, did all of the guards from the mines come down with you, or were there still some left up there?
There are still guards and maybe some first echelons still in the mine. We told the miners to take refuge in the deep mining slopes. So if we want to go clean out that camp, yeah, sure, okay.
Well, we'll probably need the miners to help us take back the town.
Okay, well, that's thing two then.
We should probably deal with the wounded first and have a bit of a rest.
That's probably a good idea.
I'm one of the wounded.
Yeah, hello. Also,
But let me take this moment to say, and
Oh boy. Someone
that-
finds a block.
never have I seen such a decisive victory. Never have we dealt such a great blow against the forces of Kalkos, the Crab King. The Atlantean has helped us turn the tide against the crabs, and we will flow down the mountain back to our fair town and reclaim it in the name of Zathokwa. Thank you. And like the few people who are there, like, yeah, there's probably, of the 15 that were there, probably 8 of them are still alive. And you've got Churn, and there's the 3 of you. Dodecimus is there, like, cleaning his weapon. And yeah, you're there with the all the goods of this caravan. And Berith goes over and undoes the bolts and opens the wagon, and inside is this huge, dirty, great uncut ruby, in there, safe. And he kind of looks at it, he's like, that is bigger than I imagined. It's probably about the size of a human head. It's a big, it's like,
Generally been said, yeah, as such, yes.
yeah. Well, this could bring great fortune to our town. It could help us repair all the damages from their attacks. It could hire new soldiers to watch our walls and guard us from these crab folk. We could clear out the sewers. We could improve the docks. There's much we could do with this.
Or it can be built into a weapon that's like...
Oh, yes.
That might be more effective to defend your town with.
You discussed this. I would want to see this.
And that's Xandros's thing.
Vandro.
Yeah, Vandro, him, yeah, that guy.
Yes, and
Very well.
Hufflejacket, he wishes to make the giant laser to defend the town. I think you have some civic negotiations to do when you get back
Right.
to being Sackmaster.
Right.
We
Very well.
are impartial.
Now that you've met this guy, Jean and Lafal, he seems very charismatic. He is like in great shape. He's clearly a warrior, but his face is covered in horrible boils that some and pustules, and some of them are weeping pus as he talks to you, but maybe underneath he looks like Brad Pitt, you're not sure.
This is the kiss of Zathoka. You have been blessed.
Thrice blessed.
Yes. And as you can see, Klobos has been kissed by the Raven God.
Indeed. He
I'm
goes over to Klobos's body and removes the claw from his arm. And as he does, there's a horrible kind of sucking, puckering noise as it comes off his arm. And Klobos's arm underneath is kind of very pink. almost raw, and he kind of hands it to you, and he says, "Do any of you know what he did to?" And he kind of gestures at the horrible mess on the floor of the.
It was something we had grudges were given to some of us, and they began to glow when we were up at the mine, and that seemed to be he activated the crab transfiguration.
Those poor bastards. I mean, they were a brute squad and idiots, but they didn't really deserve that, did they? But it is good to learn another power of our enemy.
Fair, yeah.
If there is some way to disrupt or to interrupt.
Well, I think probably this ruby then is some sort of source of power for them. For some reason.
They called it the eye of the crab god. It is to be part of the weapon, but maybe there is a more mystical connection. I do not know.
Who knows? Who knows? It is said long ago that all of this land was under the sea. So, who knows?
Look at the Atlantean.
Oh, land changes from below the sea and above the sea all the time, Jean.
Okay.
But also, I have a cunning plan on how we should proceed.
Okay.
Because my first cunning plan worked so brilliantly.
Dodecimus kind of steps up and says, "It does seem you have a mind for tactics."
Yes, Dodecimus, that's exactly what I have. We should recover as much of these brute
But you
squad
only have
uniforms.
enough gold for another 2 days.
But don't worry, Dodecimus, we have more gold. We recover these uniforms, and we go back up the mountain to the mines, where we were like, "Oh, we've been attacked! Oh no!" All of the guards will come out. I'll put them to sleep, and we'll kill them all. And then we'll gather the miners, take the carts all back down to the town, and say, "We've come with the red ruby." Draw everybody out, put them to sleep, and kill them too. And then, bish bosh bash, we've freed the mines in the town.
But it's quite efficient.
Yeah, the plan's so good it might work twice or thrice.
I'm thinking maybe this time, just for, I don't know, a change, I might try a ranged weapon.
That's fair.
We have bows and arrows if you need one.
I have this bow. I don't know how to use it. I mean, I do, but I don't.
It's not your chosen style, I understand.
At least we shouldn't have to fight any giant crabs anymore this time, right? Because
You say
the
that.
main guy's down.
Hopefully just the main guy, but you never know.
Yeah.
Hopefully just the red arms with their magic missile little bracelet things.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to rest, recuperate. What are you going to do with the ruby? You're going to take it back up to the mine with you?
Yeah, the whole idea of like Alika's plan is to make it look like we were attacked on the road, and we'll go back and we're all injured and wounded.
And when they all
that way
come
we
out, you'll
they
put
all
them to
come out.
sleep.
That's the plan.
Okay.
And then we
That's
could just
the
rinse and
plan.
repeat by going down to the town with all the miners.
There might be more people at the town. It might be a bit more difficult at the town. You're not sure about that option, but
I'm
know
sure
about
how
the mine,
Hufflepuffle will come out and join the
Hufflepuffle.
rebellion.
Sure. Paffle Jaffet.
Yes.
Sandwich, yes.
You think that will probably work at the mine, right? And you rest up for the rest of the day, I would assume then, and probably sleep the night, or are you going to go back before the end of the day? Because if you want to appear like you've been attacked on the road, then
Too long.
can't wait too long. Have you got time enough to rest and learn your spell again?
I don't know because I don't know how long. It probably. I've got sleep still available. I've still got one sleep available, so that's okay. I have no healing magic left available, but I do have a sleep available.
Okay.
Roll out spells. That's fine. Maybe if one of us can disguise ourselves as Globos, or
Well, if you are Bereslight, if you are injured, my men can go first, and we can lead the way in, and then you can stand afar and use your powers.
It is a good plan.
They never have too many guards at the mine because the people who work there are exhausted and have little energy to put up a fight. And you know, the few cultists they have there, well, I think there's one's dead over there, right?
Yeah.
And we have Dodecimus, the mighty.
He's standing there, muscular and Roman. I've been called many things. Yes, I will help you free the miners. Barrett says, the thing is, we want people to work the mine. Not under the conditions they're under now. I never force them to work every hour that Zerthokwa sends. But it's a key element for the town. It's a great, you know, resource for us. And we sell off to Tanurin some of the ore that we bring out of this mine. There's been not much recently, until suddenly recently. But I wouldn't want, he's kind of talking to you privately, I wouldn't want people to think that we're freeing them from the mine and no one will ever have to go back to the mine. If you understand me.
Absolutely understand you, and people will always need to work for
It's
their
not burn the
fair
mine
wage.
down or collapse the mine or anything like
No,
that.
no, that's not the
And please
intention.
stop me from doing anything like that when we get there, because I often get a bit carried away.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice that. No, my intention was that we go up there and then we all get to rest for an evening, and then we have an angry mob of miners to assist us in the retaking of town, because those miners have been under some pretty shoddy conditions. I've had to heal many of them.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Well, I suggest we return there before daybreak then, to make your story ring true, but also to take advantage of the mess hall there.
That is
for
a good
dinner.
idea.
Although I assume he looks at the other two. That means you're probably having stew again.
It's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Perfectly possible. And we must liberate the poor miners who are trapped in such atrocious subjugations, and then they can help liberate the town, and then all will be well.
Very well. Let us go. For today, a great moment has been achieved. We have seized the eye of the Crab King, and people gather round suddenly with earnest faces and open eyes, and you know, the tear is about to form on their cheek, and he climbs up on the top of the wagon. He said, "We will return to the mine and free our brethren, and from there we shall launch." And he's trying to get back to his sweeping tide joke metaphor, but he can't quite get there. And so we will go down the mountain back to Huskrin. Anyway, let us go.
Yes, and like a
Huzzah!
great tsunami, we will sweep the crab people back into the ocean.
Excellent, Lieutenant. Very well, let us go. The team start to get the carts moving, turned around, you know, and heading back to the mine, leaving the kind of arrows jutting out of them. You know, this dead mule like packed onto the back of one thing. You know, I assume you're going to kind of what are you going to do with the brute squad members?
We're just gonna loot them and use their cloaks and stuff to like disguise the guard and whatnot. Because obviously they left the brute squad, didn't they? So
cool. Okay, so you're not going to say the brute squad were all killed. You're going to say we were attacked, but we've come back.
Yeah.
And what about Klobos?
He's dead, unfortunately.
Are you going to bring him back with you?
We're going to bring back his green claw.
Yes, bring back the claw.
Blue claw.
Blue claw. Yes, because
Yes, blue claw, because he's the tippy toppy, isn't he? Yes. Bring
Yes,
back his blue
sure.
claw.
Okay.
We're going to make up this elaborate story that he sacrificed himself to protect the eye of the Crab King.
Sounds like.
And we thought it was best to bring it back to the first echelons that were still alive up at the top of the hill.
Okay, so you make your way back to the mine, and a first echelon comes out, and this story is conveyed to them. At what point are you going to try and cast sleep on the guards? Are you waiting for them all to gather in the mess hall?
Yeah,
or something?
I'm waiting for them all to sort of come out into the courtyard, so they're like there in the courtyard, and then I will cast sleep.
So there's a number of guard who come out. It's not 10 people. It's probably, there's probably 7 guards left, right? They all guard a number of people, guards per person. There's probably like 50 miners here, right? Mining stuff. So they kind of come out, not all of them, right? 6 guys come out with this first echelon who's kind of inquiring what's going on. And you tell your story. We were waylaid, we were attacked. Look, dead bodies, arrows in the carts, all this kind of stuff, wounds, it all looks very convincing. He's died. This is going on. Berith is keeping a low profile. His face is very noticeable. And Dodecimus is trying to sort of look
Make
small,
himself look a bit smaller.
hanging around at the back. So leaving it to the 3 of you, and you guys are talking to this first echelon guy. You think this is probably a large enough group of guards here to...
7 hit dice worth of people fall asleep.
Okay. So as Jean is probably telling some details on one of the, embellishing on one of the moments of the attack, you cast sleep and all of them fall down asleep. And
so rude.
the rebels run over and murder them all.
She's the middle of my story.
And Berith stabs the first echelon guy and puts his foot on it, and he's like, "Huzzah! We have freed the mine!" And the word gets around, and the last you see that there are 1 or 2, maybe 3 remaining guards. They kind of run off into the hills, into the mountain, into the passes, to just get away.
Alika's going to reveal herself because she knows the miners know her as the Grey Lady. So she's going to reveal herself in full. And be like, "Fear not, miners, we have come to free." And she now stands on a rock with her trident looking glorious.
Okay.
"We have come to free you."
One of the miners goes, "Is that the Grey Lady?" And a few of the others are sort of like, "What?" And he's like, "Yes, it's the Grey Lady. I've heard about her from town." And everyone's sort of a bit confused. Obviously your legend hasn't quite
Fully grown yet.
burnt like wildfire, but some people have heard about it. And Berith keys into this, and he's like, "Yes, the Grey Lady, one of my powerful allies that has joined me in the battle to free Huskrin from the tyranny of the claw of the Crab King."
Hold the claw up while he's doing that.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent. And you all rest up at the mine. You all have probably eat all the rest of the stores that they've got, drink all the ale that they've got, because you're going to go back to the town, and then you'll bring more food back to the mine later. And we'll end the session with you all kind of celebrating. Kind of Ewok music playing in the background. It's not quite the full victory of freeing Huskrin, but you have got yourself a force, because you've got about 50 miners, right? And you've got about 10 rebels, and there's the 4 of you with Dodecimus. So now you've got like a little army, right? And you've kind of got this force waiting. The miners aren't especially well trained or well armed, but you give them all the gear that you've looted from the brute squad and those guards. So about 20 of them have got leather armor and weapons. So it's starting to look like you've got a little bit of a force, right? If you could meet up with Hufflepuffle, then and his team, then Paffle Jaffet. If you were to meet up with Paffle Jaffet and combine forces, maybe you might have like 100, 200 men. You could fight the rest of the brute squad and the remaining members of the priesthood you don't know. You're not quite sure on all the numbers, but you're excited. And Berith, although he's got all these horrible boils and pustules on his face, he is a very charismatic, friendly, excitable leader. He's very capable, physically capable. So, he fetches things for people. He helps them. He carries things. He's part of the team. He's not some sort of, oh, fetch me my stuff kind of guy. He's like, I'm going to muck in. But he's looks horrible, ghastly pustules on his face. But they all love him. They all love him. He's the Sackmaster. So they're all, talking to him, and he's going around, hey, yes, you, and all this, and he's shaking hands with people, and like a bit will drip onto their hand, but they'll pretend that, they don't notice, it doesn't matter. And he's like, yes, and he goes off, so this whole kind of party ensues where you get all the ale out, you get the food out. A few of the miners are actually also the cooks, so they start firing it all up and getting all the food going. And night settles on the mountain with your fires going, and Berith at one point he's got the ruby out, and a few of them have like positioned it and got a fire going, and the light is kind of shining through it. There's almost like a kind of laser light show going on of ruby red light. So this kind of scene kind of blankets the mountainside and the mine as you have freed all of those people. And next week we'll see what happens. You guys can have a think about what you want to do in terms of approaching the town. And we will find out what madness we do next week. So thank you very much, guys. That was a really good session. Having lots of fun with Hyperborea. And thank you to our viewers. If you're watching this back, please don't forget to check out all our links below to all our social media. There's a link to our Discord, our podcast, and various other things. Go and check all those things out. Come and join the community. Lots of cool people talking, playing games, all kinds of stuff. So really good stuff. We'll be back next week for more of Doom of the Crab King, and we will see you then. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.